You know, many people ask me, we've been talking about what is happening in Israel at the moment. It just seems like there's so much chaos. Now, if you haven't kept up, a couple of videos were sent to me just of what is actually going on. And I have a small little snippet here just to show you just a little bit of a mix of what's happening over there, and ultimately just to share a couple of thoughts on it, something that may have you ready and prepared for what is going on. Have a look at this first.
Hundreds of thousands of Israelis have taken part in what some are calling the biggest protests in the country's history. The protests are against government plans for a radical overhaul of the judicial system. The reforms aim to give the elected government decisive influence over the choice of judges and limit the ability of the Supreme Court to rule against the executive or strike down legislation. While critics say the planned reforms will politicize the judiciary and could lead to an authoritarian government.
As you can see, there's a lot of chaos going on at the moment with Netanyahu. They're looking to change certain things within the judicial system, and the people there are not having it. What I'm seeing over and over now within Israel, there is constant lawlessness, there's constant fighting on both sides. You know, as a believer in Christ and a true believer in prophecy, our center point and our vocal point is always going to be on Israel. It has to be. It's the only thing that makes sense in terms of prophecy. And as we draw closer, nearer to the coming of Christ, you're going to see within Israel more things are going to happen there. Eventually people's eyes will turn on Israel and begin to hate them more and more, and eventually declare war on them. And we're seeing this happening over and over. A huge amount of this that's happening is a lot of distractions going on in the world to take out a kind of our attention away and then secretly bring in things. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Keep an eye on Israel and the things that are happening there. Pray for them that they open their eyes and actually see who Jesus is, their true Messiah. Essentially, that's what we have to do, especially as we draw closer to Christ returning. Remember, regardless of what goes on in the world, God is always in control, and keep the faith.